The United Nations have voted overwhelmingly against the U.S. president's highly controversial decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. But just what has Donald Trump's announcement unleashed? Why does he want to move the capital, and which UN members backed the U.S.? Trump described the recognition of Jerusalem as long overdue. What is the capital of Israel? Israel claims that Jerusalem is its capital, but this is not internationally recognized. This is because the ancient city is also the proclaimed capital of the State of Palestine, with its status one of the core questions at the heart of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A 1949 treaty following the Arab-Israeli War divided Jerusalem into two sections, with the western half controlled by Israel, and the eastern half controlled by Jordan. Although Israel captured and annexed the entire city during the 1967 Six-Day War, East Jerusalem, containing the famous Old City, is still claimed by Palestine, with many in the international community acknowledging East Jerusalem as the capital of a future Palestinian state. Israeli sovereignty over the whole city has not been recognized. The Holy City has been at the heart of violent conflicts throughout history because it is home to key religious sites holy to Judaism, Christianity and Islam. The population of Jerusalem is roughly 850,000, around two-thirds Jewish and a third Arab, with the majority of neighborhoods divided on religious lines. While Israel's government is based in Jerusalem, the nation's economic and business center is in Tel Aviv, home to many foreign embassies, including that of the U.S. Jerusalem has been at the heart of violent conflicts throughout history. Why was there a UN vote, and which countries voted against the UN resolution? The UN General Assembly held a rare emergency special session at the request of Arab and Muslim states, after Trump's shock decision heightened tensions in the Middle East. The resolution, effectively calling on the U.S. to withdraw its recognition of Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, was backed by the overwhelming majority of members. A total of 128 countries voted for the resolution on December 21, 2017, while just 9 voted no. Those 9 members voting against were the U.S. and Israel, along with Guatemala, Honduras, the Marshall Islands, Micronesia, Nauru, Palau and Togo. 35 nations abstained, including Canada, Mexico and Australia, and 21 countries didn't turn up for the vote. The vote came after U.S. Ambassador to the UN Nikki Haley issued a direct threat, saying that the U.S. will think twice about funding the world body if it voted to condemn Trump's decision. The United States will remember this day in which it was singled out for attack in this assembly, Haley said. We will remember it when we are called upon to once again make the world's largest contribution to the UN, and when other member nations ask Washington to pay even more and to use our influence for their benefit. Haley said the U.S. will put its embassy in Jerusalem regardless of the vote. Why does Trump want to move the embassy there, and why is it so controversial? Announcing his long-overdue decision, Trump said he was acting in the best interest of the U.S. and the pursuit of peace in the region. Trump also announced the U.S. State Department will begin plans to build a new U.S. embassy in Jerusalem, which he said would stand as a magnificent tribute to peace. The U.S. is the first country to make the distinction since Israel was created in 1948. The president slammed the stance of his predecessors, saying we cannot solve our problems by repeating the same failed strategies of the past. After more than 2 decades of waivers, we are no closer to a lasting peace agreement. However, many world leaders have condemned the move, with fears it could spark further bloodshed in the region and disrupt attempts to reach a two-state solution. The status of Jerusalem has widely been considered something that should be decided by negotiations between Israel and Palestine, without international interference. Theresa May reiterated the UK's support for this stance, saying that she wants the two countries to have the city as a shared capital. She said, "We continue to support a two-state solution. We recognize the importance of Jerusalem." Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said Jerusalem was the eternal capital of the State of Palestine. In a scathing rebuke, he described Trump's speech as a declaration of withdrawal from the role the U.S. has played in the peace process. Palestinians are burning pictures of Donald Trump in Bethlehem. Emmanuel Macron called on the White House to step back from the announcement, while Pope Francis defended the status quo of the city as he prayed that wisdom and prudence prevail. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said, "From day one I have consistently spoken out against any unilateral measures that would jeopardize the prospect of peace for Israelis and Palestinians." The announcement also sparked scenes of protest and flag-burning in Palestinian territories and across the Middle East. Israel has deployed hundreds of extra troops following Trump's announcement. Protesters set tires alight and Israeli troops used tear gas, rubber bullets and rounds against them. Anti-Trump MP red-faced after boasting he sent President a Christmas card. May and Trump still pals despite him taking 2 weeks to call her back. China and Russia may be secretly training for war against the U.S. How North Korea and Kim Jong-un could trigger a catastrophic nuclear war. Where is Guam? Is it in range of Kim's missiles? And what has Trump said? At least 80 Palestinians had been wounded in clashes along the West Bank and 8 killed since Trump's announcement on December 8. However, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu backed Trump's move, saying that it marked a historic day and is an important step towards peace. The U.S. president insisted the United States remains deeply committed to helping facilitate a peace agreement that is acceptable to both sides. U.S. President Donald Trump says, "It is time to officially recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel."